Hey y'all, and welcome to Politabrawl. My name is Brian, and y'all, I get it, Stephen A. Smith is pretty much just here for the memes at this point, but Lord Byron Donalds gives him a complete mind-altering answer that should change the very way you look at both of these gentlemen and the way the world works. This is wild.
How the hell are you supporting Donald Trump at this point? At this point. I'm talking about I'm talking 4 counts. I'm talking about 4 charges, 91 counts. I mean, people are talking about you could be in prison, running the country from prison for crying out loud. Do I think that's gonna happen? Of course, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I'm just saying, how at this point could you possibly support Donald Trump?
First of all, I'll tell you right now, between him and Joe Biden, this isn't even a question. Joe Biden sucks. He's terrible at the job. And we do have to acknowledge that before COVID-19, despite all the circus and the phony investigations, the Russia collusion thing was phony. That's now come out to be proven. Despite all of the distractions in the circus, he actually did the job as president of the United States. Every demographic group was doing well under Donald Trump. Every demographic group was doing well. Our border was secure. There were no foreign wars that anybody was talking about that we were entangled in. Our country was booming. Energy prices were low. We were energy independent, something that every politician had said that they wanted to do. Donald Trump actually was able to make all that stuff happen. Now let's look at the actual charges. Do you mean to tell me that because a president of the United States had classified documents, who, by the way, former presidents still have their security clearance, they still get the daily presidential briefing, that now somehow this is a threat to national security? That is a joke, especially considering the fact that the only way the National Archives could even bring this charge, or excuse me, the FBI and the Department of Justice could bring this charge, is that the White House counsel, who works for Joe Biden, had to allow it. That's one. Two, what's going on in Georgia? I'm sorry, flat out wrong. And every candidate who runs is allowed to challenge election results. Every candidate. It's not some RICO charge. That's insane to me. And then when you take the other two charges, the one in New York, that one is just really, really stupid. And then the last one, this January 6th one.
Okay.
They have no, hold on, this is important, Stephen. I want to lay this out.
Please, go ahead.
They have nothing that proves that Donald Trump encouraged, organized, structured anything that happened with January 6th. This is weaponization of the Justice Department against a political rival, and it's flat out wrong. And here's my example for that.
Okay.
One of my colleagues, Steve Scalise, who was shot at the congressional baseball practice. The shooter said in his manifesto, the reason he went to shoot up the Republican baseball practice is because Bernie Sanders was saying that the Republicans wanted to take away health care, and he felt it was wrong. Are we bringing Bernie Sanders up on charges because Bernie Sanders was using his political speech and it led wrongfully for some knucklehead to come almost kill Steve Scalise? No, we don't do that. That's not the standard of justice. So just because they're using the justice system in a weaponized fashion doesn't take away Donald Trump's liberty to run for office.
Absolutely based Lord Byron. Oh man, I love covering this guy because he makes the argument better than I think anyone else does in Congress. And the argument is very simple. The rhetoric of the left and the actions of the left that have captured a huge chunk of the Democrat Party are abhorrent. Because I remember when Steve Scalise was basically had a hit put on him. Bernie Sanders' rhetoric, and I don't want to implicate Bernie Sanders himself, because again, Donalds is right. Rhetoric is not a call to something. Rhetoric is merely the attempt to change hearts and minds. Your actions are your own. Okay? So that's why Donald Trump is innocent of a whole lot of these charges when it comes to a certain day in early January. Ultimately, it comes down to your idea of what justice actually is. If you think justice is preventive, be careful that you do not reap what you sow. Okay, a Minority Report is a movie for a reason. That's what happens when preventive justice is out there. It's why the FBI monitors people but doesn't go out and directly arrest them. Because that's what our notion of justice is supposed to be. Hey y'all, This is a shout out to my friends over at Colonial Metals Group, where CEO Paul Stone and his expert associates fully understand the gravity of our current situation and want to protect your wealth backed by gold, silver, and other precious metals. Folks, we are in an era of record inflation. We have a Congress that won't stop spending and a president who doesn't even know what planet he's on. That's how bad the situation is, and that's why I'm partnering with Colonial Metals Group. And if you have a first-time account with these fine upstanding people, you will receive up to $7,500 worth of silver, a nice old safe to keep all the good stuff in. You will get Roth IRA accounts for free backed by gold and silver, and insurance and warranty on these items for 5 years, all for free. So call the number below or check out the link in the description and let CEO Paul Stone and his expert team help you now, because your wealth might evaporate before your very eyes. Protect your wealth, protect your family, protect your future with Colonial Metals Group today. Now, back to regularly scheduled programming. Now, what about Stephen A. Smith here? Okay, there are 2 reasons to love Stephen A. Smith. Because he said the quiet part out loud about a month ago and admitted that he's supporting Donald Trump because he's not a moron. Unfortunately, since he's not a moron, he knows that the media executives, in order to keep him on air, he has to say certain things the way they want him to say it. Now, this does make him a shill, this does make him a sellout, but it does not make him a moron. He makes some dumb takes, but come on, have you seen his anti-Cowboys videos? America's team. But Stephen A. Smith had a point and got slapped down for it and got told by his executives, do not say this or we will stop working with you. That is the power that the media has over people. That is the power that is trying to direct the country in a new direction. And instead of getting good media, we are getting a terrible version of Splash Mountain, a terrible version of Star Wars. And the reason I'm deflecting over to the culture wars is simple. These people do not understand story structure. They don't understand the hero's journey. They want to shove woke ideology down your throat in order to protect themselves and other people. They think they're doing good work here. They're not. They're creating bad art, and they're lying to themselves thinking that it's good, and then they're mad when you notice it. There's a reason I'm bringing this argument up here. I think this is downstream of the Stephen A. Smith sort of arc, so to speak. He has been told to shut up. He has been told to go in a different direction. Because over a month ago, he was talking nonstop about how he believes that Trump is indeed the right guy for the job because Joe Biden is incompetent. And what he's doing here, I think, is 4D chess. He's bringing Byron Donalds on, does not interrupt him like a lot of other talking heads would. Anderson Cooper certainly would. Cuomo certainly would. And I don't think Rachel Maddow would ever allow this man on her show. Too much masculinity for her. But I think he's playing 4D chess here by allowing Byron Donalds to make the argument so he doesn't have to. I think this is his way of getting back at the talking heads that told him to shut up and keep talking about sports. Anyways, that's my take on the matter. What do you think about Stephen A. Smith? What do you think about Lord Byron Donalds? Y'all, tell me down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.